Alright, today on the Happy Satellite Nerd, I'd like to talk to you about Galaxy 19. One of the most commonly tuned satellite, free satellite TV satellites in North America. I use this here to get my Galaxy 19 feed. It has almost 200 channels and hundreds of radio channels. So today we're going to talk about Galaxy 19, and we'll do a blind scan to see what channels are on Galaxy 19. 97 West. A dish like this one. Alright, so I'm going to do a blind scan, so I just rigged my Amico receiver up. Sometimes I unplug it, I just unplug it because I got my Z Gamma here and down here. But if I just want to do a blind scan, I just use this, connect it to the TV, and do my scan.
Alright, so you go into signal installation on your satellite installation settings. Now, I just like to always remind people to have their settings set to standard 10750, just so that you're if you're using a linear KU LMB. And you can always just test your frequencies by going through some of the main frequencies that are listed on Linksat, where you'll be able to find all of the satellite frequencies for pretty much all satellites across the world. So this is the settings also you might want to set if you're trying to aim your dish for the first time, is just to get it on the right transponder and have the right settings for when you're trying to aim your dish to the Galaxy 97 West satellite. Now I got my dissect switch to number 2 because I run a separate dish into my switch so that I can always just quickly go to. So when you go scan, you just do a free scan, or you can do it all or free. So I just select free, and you can do television and radio. I just leave it on television and radio, and I set it to blind scan because I want to do a blind scan. And the moving dish will come on. That's just and once it scans in, you can see this has a little graphic of a satellite sending signal to the dish, to a Earth station dish. Doing this takes a few minutes to do a blind scan to go through all the channels, and there's lots of channels on Galaxy 19. There's a lot of the channels are religious channels, like all those, the LLBN, Amazing Facts, Amazing Discoveries, lots of those channels, and there is lots of international channels. So the one thing is, people say, oh yeah, there's 200 channels on that satellite, but maybe 40 of them are English. And some of the foreign language programs, non-English programs, have English TV shows, and sometimes with subtitles, but the audio is actually in English. So you can see it has some news channels in there. You can always look all this stuff up on Linksat, and it also has radio channels. If you can see there, it says Voice of Russia, European program. And on the radio side, most receivers have a radio button that you can press, and it will pull in a bunch of radio stations, kind of similar to like if you listen to shortwave radio. A lot of the stuff that broadcasts on shortwave is also on Galaxy 19, and you can listen to those stations a lot clearer without losing it when the skip happens. But over on the TV side, we're up to about 117 channels, and just has a whole whack. Now, some of these channels come and go. Maybe they don't pay their satellite bill, and they just kind of pop up and then go away. So there, we did a scan. So that's my scan of Galaxy 19 and all the channels that you can get. on Galaxy 19.
Right.
Knapsack for Hope. It looks like it's kind of like this thing here kind of looks like the Ethernet, what it was. You record data using your USB drive. It's kind of interesting. Don't know much about this, but definitely something I'm going to look into. Yeah, that looks really interesting because I think this works better than what the Ethernet would work because at least more people have a satellite receiver, or they can easily get a satellite receiver than to build those Raspberry Pis for what the Ethernet had. Interesting. So anyway, I'm going to go and do a scan of my C-band satellite dish. So to do a scan of I'd also like to look at the C-band end of Galaxy 19. Now you want to set your LMB to 5150. And you just go through your transponders when you're setting up your satellite dish. Make sure you got one that you can lock in on. And this is how I have my settings here. Just dissects on one. I don't have a positioner, and just go through that, and it should work. Okay. So I'm just going to go I'm going to go free. And just TV and radio, just so I can pick up the radio channels as well. And select BlindScan and begin scanning. Now on C-band, there's not as many channels. Now this is doing C-band, so this means you're going to need a 8-foot or larger. I do have a video where I was able to get C-band, and some of these AMG, for example, I was able to get with a 4-foot dish. But really, if you want good, reliable reception, go with at least 8-foot, 12 if you can for a dish. But the first part of the video is like you can get it with a very small dish, but this one you need a big dish. So yeah, there's Univision, there's Bounce, there's Grit, Escape, Laugh, and Channel 5. Laugh's a good channel. It runs old rerun comedy shows. I enjoy Laugh. That's a good channel. There's channel 1 and 4, which are probably channels maybe that are Spanish. And I think there's only about 20 channels on the C-band side of Galaxy 19, but still there's some pretty good channels up there. I don't know if it's scanned up AMG, but I get AMG, which is kind of like a super station. I don't know. It has like movies during the daytime and other programming. For me, when I'm not up late, but it's nice sometimes to have a movie on an afternoon. So let's just keep scanning through the transponders. And sometimes it stays at a still. I only see about 2 radio channels there. I don't think there's a whole lot of radio channels on the C-band side of things. I think a lot of the radio channels are on KU band. So what it normally does with a BlindScan is it goes through the vertical transponders and then it goes through the horizontal. Now that MUX that just came up, I believe it's out of Utah, the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints feed, which sometimes has BYU, and then BYU it's not there all the time. And there's probably a few other transponders that have a lot of the Spanish programming like that. I saw AMG come up, and these are all, I believe, Spanish programming shows. And there's a whole bunch of other channels there. And it saves the settings and it's back into. So that's about the time it takes. It takes a few minutes to do a blind scan. So this website here, Lingsat, it has all the satellites. So you can go through the arc, the geo belt with this. So here's where you find all the frequencies and channels and transponders for everything. So here's all the Spanish channels here on the C-band side. Here's the C-band channels like AMG. The C-band channels have about 4 digits of frequency, and then the other ones, the KU band has 5 digits. So you just kind of look here for all your channels, and here's all the KU band channels, and you just go through that to find out what channels what you're looking for. So I'll put this in my in the description so that you can see all the channels and the frequencies of where everything is on Lingsat. This is a great tool for setting up your dish and knowing what channels are free and in the clear. Oh yeah, another thing I want to point out is when it has a little F near it, that usually means that it's free and it's not encrypted, which is a good thing to have for when you're trying to get some free channels. You want those unencrypted channels because they're free and fair for everyone to go watch.